Kasuga in the top left once again. This is all the way back to the first 3 games. He finishes where he started, the Black Protoss. Jakulangski in the bottom right. He's our Zerg player, and I have no idea what color he is. Let's see. It's not beaver, because it's a little bit too pinkish. Is it liver? Ooh, Persian orange. Dude, I haven't seen that color in, I don't know. Last time I looked at my beard. Don't ask questions. I am looking at the way that Jack has gone for every single game this way. It has been Larvosk, Pool. And then, you know, he does some other stuff with the macro, but he goes for that 13 Shroud. I don't expect him to change. But will Kasuga go Gateway Nexus again? Because he was in a winnable position, but I guess he's just not used to having that much money in the early stages of the game or something. He just decided to not build a lot of production, even though he had almost 10,000 minerals at the end. Wild scenes. I think if Kasuga tightens up that kind of build order and just plays with spending his money, you will see a very, very scary player. I guess he's already kind of scary because you don't really understand him super well. You don't really know if he means, like, what does he mean when he says remove Protoss? You know what I mean? So these are some thoughts that I have. These are some questions that need to be answered. Pool about to finish here for our Jack. And for our Ooga, as opposed to Yuga. I am expecting more Dracodons. And he isn't going for that Nexus, so let's see what the follow-up is. I liked the Gateway Nexus Rogue Gallery. It was a little bit chancy because of the fact that the Quaz went across the map and started pressuring him. But now Jack isn't really scouting as much, at least not as early. The Dracodon is actually moving across the map to deny that kind of thing. So I think that really helps him out. Matrix defensively in the mineral line, that doesn't feel like what you want. I don't like that. What is he worried about? The pool is here. It's not like he's going to have to deal with fast air or something. I wonder if he thought this was morphing into a Vornath, because if he did, I can see why that would be a concern. Oh, you think you're being like Zeth Vorvalind or something like that? But putting the Matrix here so fast, that doesn't feel right. Even a fast Sedent, that doesn't feel great. But minus the Matrix, yeah, actually, I could see an argument for that. Now the Dracodon's going to arrive and immediately be sent off because there's way too many Quas to actually deal with that. But, oh, hello. Goodbye. Jack is surprised that didn't work. Is he going to remember? Oh, not quite. They don't seem to be too kind to each other. But that's okay. Second Dracodon on the way. Might be able to pop that Zeth on the way through. Yeah, it is on attack move, so that's good. Denying the scouting for sure. He's really testing Jack right now. Like, hey, man, you want to unburrow a little bit? Embassy on the way. It's good because you need that detection that you can get out of the embassy if you're going up against the Shroud anyway. And Jack always goes up against the Shroud. He always puts that out there. It's so silly. The whack-a-mole, the peekaboo. It's a lot of effort for killing one unit, right? So Kasuga, meanwhile, is floating a little bit of money. He could put some gateways down if he wanted to. I love that he's prioritizing Storm again. I think he's realized that Storm is really working out well for him. Oh, whoa.
Stormu.
Stormu indeed. Thank you for the $20 towards the goal, Jujik. Appreciate you, man. Now we only need $30, and we'll have made the goal. Isn't that fantastic? Plus, we got that $3 subscription earlier from somebody. Shout out to that guy. Now, not focusing down the Zoryus is a little bit of a whiff here from Kasuga. Oh, there you go. He does end up getting it. Definitely feels better now. There is an Avaleth with 6 Quas in it. But the static defense is pretty absurd, honestly. Okay, we are finally seeing Kasuga's Storm drop in action. I thought this worked out really well, surprisingly well, versus Zeki. I wasn't expecting Kasuga to have the APM to kind of split. And I also admittedly was expecting Zeki to staunch it really quickly. But, you know, you can't always be a pro, I guess. Unless your name is Pronogo. Still no witness, but it is on the way. And still kind of trying to dance around here. Not really going to be able to get too much value out of this drop because of all the static defense. And the Matrix is a real MVP here. But here's the Storm drop. Let's see how fast Jakulangski reacts to it. And the answer is not fast enough to avoid 5 workers going down, maybe. I see 4 corpses, so a 5th one might be on the cards later. And of course, the Avaleth not quite able to get anything done on the other side. Yeah, oh yeah, this is going to be way more than 5 even. Love it. Well, obviously the Zerg can deal with this because they can just make a bunch of workers again, but the lost mining time, the worker kills, the lost income while you wait for your workers to come back, that's a really big deal. Double Grand Library because Kasuga once again has north of 1,000 minerals at the first 6 minutes of the game, and he needs to spend that. If you turned this into units and structures, I would feel so much better about his position. But even despite that, he is undoubtedly in a winning position right now. My concern is his ability to convert it into an actual dub, because he has kind of been getting bopped a little bit. All right, here's the witness. Spotting it out. Yet another drop. Good reaction time there for Jack. If it was moving, it would have killed a couple more workers. Instead, he ends up scoring 3 of them. But still, that's 3 workers and a bunch of lost mining time. Might force Jack to think about expanding just because his workers are there. It's pretty convenient, right? Static defense now being set up. Oh my god, Jack hasn't actually started mining again with most of his workers. That's unfortunate. Trying to set up his defenses instead. 12 o'clock being taken by Kasuga, and his Argosy is already on the way too. Wow! Okay, so the Grand Library is not just to leapfrog for Tier 3, it's also so that he can make a lot of Amaranths, which I agree with. I think that's actually a really good choice. If you look at what has been so problematic for Kasuga in that last game, it was the Lyrilisks, right? Because he didn't have really heavily armored targets. Well, Amaranth can help with that, and you can make a lot of Heralds. The fact that this Storm Drop gets more kills, honestly, Jack is definitely dropping the ball here. But we have to get excited a little bit for Kasuga. Oh my god, he's killing more. 15 worker kills, and this is despite, I'm pretty sure I saw Nathrakors be made. Yeah, that Envoy is supposed to be dead. Is it actually? Oh, if he actually kept moving and accelerating the whole time, he would have been just fine. But on the counter side of it, that's going to be a dead lake is in the drop, so I guess you can just say, haha, like Kasuga's drop did way more damage. 15 workers, shut down mining for so long, forced Jack into an uncomfortable position where he has less money than he's used to, and certainly less military units than he's used to. The snowball should be complete. On the other side, it literally didn't affect Kasuga at all that there was a drop there. It died before it could even get out of the transport. Second embassy, I think we're going to see some artisans later on for those reservoirs in the middle of the map, which makes a lot of sense. These Drollets are still not mining! Jack, you've forgotten all about them! Check the mini-map, Jack! Come on, Jack! I forget who said that, some movie star. Well, we've got 3 Grand Libraries pumping nothing but Amaranths. This is a really scary army. And no, I'm not talking about the streamer. Although, I guess they are kind of scary. Is there a witness with this army? Yes, there is. Okay, so the Lakers shouldn't be able to get too much damage dealt here. The Amaranths are definitely going to survive it. You can see them just, their shields kind of start filling back up. The blue bar underneath their bar there. Yeah, that's a big deal. Hey, GG's Green Eggs, thanks for hanging out. You watched it just enough to see that Kasuga is dominantly in the lead. When you come back and ask how he lost it, maybe somebody can answer. Calculists are on the way. That might be a route back into the game for Jack. We don't actually have any matrices in this upper base. And we do only have 1 at the natural as well. The first Empyrean, I believe it was sighted. The second one all the way as well. So, yeah, I think Jack is aware that he's going to be dealing with Empyreans again soon. He might need all hands on deck to deal with that. I don't think he can send these Calculisks on an attack path. I mean, what is his anti-air otherwise? It's just Quaz. He doesn't even have Lyrilisks, which we saw were not very impressive the last time we saw them. And these Amaranths refuse to die. The Calculists will certainly try to change their mind about that. And some Lyrilisks are being made. We don't have any more Storms, so there was only the 1 Cantavis. But the Empyreans should still be good enough here. And look at these guys, man. The Amaranths are in such large number, and they are refusing to die right now while the Empyreans clean up. The Lakers are dead. The Calculisks should be end up falling here. Although, the Draconans are going to have to do some pot shots at them. But look at the Amaranths. They refuse to die. They refuse to capitulate. And that is a wrap for all of the Air Force. Sure, Jack is making a lot more units, but are they going to deal with this army? I think the answer is no. Even though Kasuga has a ridiculous bank, yet again, this is still going to be a very, very good position for him. He even brought a scribe, just for, you know, moral support. I like that he stops attacking the Hatrosk, basically when the Hatrosk is dead. Thankfully, his Amaranths will finish the job for him. No! Kill the hatch! Oh my god. I can't believe Kasuga would do this. How does he not just kill it? It's so easy, just shoot it. One salvo from the Empyreans, please. No, don't leave. Oh, thank goodness. Wow. I was actually getting concerned. Cycling back to the third base, resaturating it with the workers that he's made so far. Got some Wardens. I don't think that the Zets are going to be able to do much by themselves. Even with the extra Zets over here, I don't think they quite would have been able to do it. Devastated. Oh, the Empyreans are trying to... Did Jack really make Nathacors to kill Empyreans? Dude, what universe am I in? I know I saw, like, Zeke try to make Naths to deal with Skiths, because I don't think he realized they did splash damage. Or maybe he thought he could, like, spread them out or something a little bit. It was a teachable moment, right? But what was that? Come on, Jack. You know better. All right, double hatch, plenty more Lyrilisks on the way, but I really don't think it's going to help him too much. He has to counterattack while the Empyreans are elsewhere on the map. Maybe try to force Kasuga into a rough position where he just refuses to kind of finish the job. Ancestral Archives on the way. That was the gas bank spent down. I would really love to see some gateways, dude. Well, 2 out of 3 scribes were killed, but there is another one. Oh, look, a 4th and a 5th. He's just rallying them down now. Makes a lot of sense, actually. A random Empyrean has been spotted. Hi. I would like to kill you. But can I? That's the question Jack is asking. Going after the Ulgorg. I don't really think the Ulgorg is going to give him too much value. I guess you can say that the Ultra Cores can help, but I don't think their DPS is enough. Not in the quantities Jack can afford them in, right? Remember, he hasn't been mining from his third base this whole time. And here come the rest of the Empyreans. We're up to 6 of them. So that's a pretty big deal. And the Amaranth count, even though it never continued to balloon in the scale that we were hoping for, because obviously these Grand Libraries haven't been pumping this whole time despite the Mineral Bank, they are still very much a threat for these units that are struggling to clear them. Now, the Zoryus are helping out because of the fact that they spawn those Rillarocors, the Broodlings. When those things die, they spread the Acid Spores, the purple overlay that rends armor and lowers attack speed. They spread that to nearby enemies. So that is why the Lyrilisks can be okay versus Amaranths, in, like, depending on the context. But now we've got Tectons coming. We've got a Unitary Union on the way. I'm sure we're going to see some Vibrances. Static defense, yeah, I guess he's going to have to deal with that. Good cancel. He only has to remake one of them. But now the 12 o'clock is definitely in danger. I think he's only seeing it just barely. He can try to catch this army. Yeah, I guess, honestly, if he tries to wrap around this army and, like, force it to commit to the attack, it will be held up by the static defense a little bit. The workers are probably going to die. He should evacuate those, but Kasuga is playing it very calmly right now. And he'll just reset the construction and the worker count as he needs to. His army is just so much more powerful. All right, for the first ever time in Cosmonarchy history, for a casted replay, we are seeing the Zozark Gorge be made. An expensive structure, unlocking the Zobrielisk and the Zarkavrakor. Both of them can be very useful versus Empyreans. My concern is that Jack does not have the income, the economy, to actually make them into something that works properly. Like, they do need a certain critical mass. And remember, he's still on tier 1 this entire time. He does not have access to the... He does not have access to, like, Oxel Cesians to just get straight to him. He has to make the Gorg first, and then turn them into the Zark. But he's banking on being able to overwhelm, in one fell swoop, the giant air stack and try to deal a lot of splash damage. But the Zarkavrakors themselves will splash up, will ball up and be splashed by the Empyreans. I don't think this is the right move, but maybe he can try to do some counterattacks as the Zarkavrakors are more mobile. Rotating over to 9 o'clock, there's a Crucible empowering some Wardens. I don't think that's going to slow them down too much. But it does look like Kasuga is roving in that direction. And he's even actually going to catch some of those Arcava cores. So that's a really big loss here for jakulangski, it feels like. And yeah, I think Jack has realized the Empyrean stack is way too high. GG is called. And the last game goes the way of Kasuga. So at the end of the day, a more respectable scoreline than we were thinking it was going to be after the first 3 games.